In the capital over COVID rules. Truck drivers are at the centre of this. They've been blocking roads in Ottawa, and the authorities say it's got out of hand. There's now a state of emergency.
We're outnumbered, and we need to ensure that the order is brought back to our city, particularly as the first priority in the residential areas where these people have been subjected to this kind of boorish behaviour.
And this is the kind of behaviour the mayor's referring to.
There were reports of assaults, threats, mischief. There were hate-motivated incidents taking place. We have businesses that have been forced to shutter. We have residents that fear leaving their residence because of the intimidation.
But for the truck drivers, this is about a point of principle.
People should be able to make their own choice if to take the needle or not take the needle, and not lose the job, not lose their house, not lose their income, just for the vaccination.
While the protests continue, they're not new. This actually started last month when Justin Trudeau's government brought in a vaccine mandate for truckers arriving from the US. All Canadian truckers must be vaccinated to avoid a 14-day quarantine. And in protest, a loose coalition of truckers and Conservative groups was formed. And what's been called the Freedom Convoy began making its way from Western Canada to Ottawa. Quickly, it was attracting support from much further afield. For example, many US Conservative politicians have expressed their support for the truckers. Republican Senator Ted Cruz tweeted, "The government doesn't have the right to force you to comply with their arbitrary mandates." But this is also no longer just about the trucker vaccine mandate, but about COVID restrictions in general.
They're not just asking for an end to that mandate for truckers. They're calling for an end to all vaccine mandates, top to bottom, at every level of government, which is something that the Trudeau administration nationally can't even do.
The website Politico also reports that the movement is now wider than just vaccine mandates, writing, "It's quickly escalated into a global movement, incorporating a loose set of anti-establishment causes, coordinated on social media and encrypted messaging groups." And a broad idea underpins many of these causes.
I support the truckers because they're standing up for freedom. Our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms has been violated in many, many ways.
For some, it's a stand for freedom. For Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, it's something different.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other.
Well, that phrase, fringe minority, has not gone down well in some quarters. Elon Musk tweeted, "It would appear that the so-called fringe minority is actually the government. If the government had the mandate of the people, there would be a significant counter-protest. There is not, therefore they do not." Well, Justin Trudeau does have a broad mandate. His Liberal Party failed to win a majority in the recent election, but it did form the government. Also, a recent opinion poll found that 68% of Canadians felt that they had very little in common with the truckers. The Canadian Trucking Alliance also tells us an estimated 85% of the 120,000 Canadian truckers who work cross-border are vaccinated. That is in line with the nearly 90% of Canadians overall. Nonetheless, as we can see, some truckers aren't happy, and nor are some Ottawa residents who want more done to end the protest.
They could prevent them from parking. They could prevent them from entering the city.
I lost my job 3 weeks ago.
Well, I'm losing my sanity because of you guys.
There's an impasse in that conversation. There's an impasse overall. The truckers for the moment are staying, and the government insists the vaccine mandate